Let's get started. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the BGL Online Summit. This is a virtual event showcasing some of our sponsors for RegTech 2025. I'm Lily Williams, the Partnerships Manager at BGL, and today's session, How to Compliance Confidence for Unlisted Public Companies, is co-hosted by Registry Direct. Sorry, I've got the wrong banner up. I'm pleased to introduce today's presenters, Bethany, lead designer and front-end developer, and Jeremy, software development team lead at Registry Direct. Registry Direct is Australia's leading SaaS registry software provider. Established in 2012, they provide share and unit registry services to thousands of companies and trusts operating in Australia, from startups to multinationals. Registry Direct has built on this knowledge and experience to create a powerful platform which is comprehensive, easy to use, and proven by client use and feedback. Before we get started, I'll just cover some general housekeeping. The session today will be recorded, so if you miss anything or you need to jump off early, you can rewatch this at a later date. It'll be emailed to you directly and also posted on our YouTube channel. We have the Q&A function available, so if you have any questions, please pop them here. We will go through a Q&A session towards the end, and I will just confirm the slide that I have up is incorrect. This is compliance confidence for unlisted public companies. So Bethany, I'll hand it over to you to kick things off.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you, BGL, as well, for organising this event. And also thank you to everyone who's joining us. We really appreciate you giving us your time today. This integration feature has been released for a few months now, and we have clients already using it with great success. So today we hope to encourage a few more of you to give it a go. I believe you'll find this presentation very valuable, particularly if you service or intend to service any unlisted public companies. And in a nutshell, the primary benefit of this integration is to empower users to perform the extra legal obligations that come with unlisted public companies. These are obligations that aren't covered by CAS 360, which leaves you with a compliance gap. And there's also some other Registry Direct features which will help you to save time and deepen your relationship with your customers, which we'll have a look at as well. So as mentioned, please jump in the Q&A if you have any questions, and we'll try to answer them towards the end. So in this presentation, let's go through the agenda first. After a quick intro to Registry Direct, I'll explain what those extra legal obligations of public companies are. And I'll also run you through a summary of some of the most popular other features that our accounting clients use to service their customers. If you're a Registry Direct user, I'll mention some useful CAS 360 features to supplement our platform. And then I'll hand over to Jeremy, who'll give a demonstration on how the integration actually works. Specifically, he'll show you how to connect your Registry Direct and BGL accounts, import your companies into Registry Direct, match up your data, and then set up a nightly reconciliation. So to start, for those of you who may not be familiar with Registry Direct, we are a provider of share and unit registry software, and we've been in operation since 2012. We act as a registrar for large firms, but we've also built our own registry management software, which is the only fully featured software as a service registry management platform in Australia. And that's what we use ourselves, of course. And that's where our real strength is, in the SaaS space. We service unlisted companies, listed companies, and fund managers. And our clients range from small startups to multinationals, and we handle thousands of registers with over 150,000 holdings. So we have a real depth of knowledge and experience to draw from. And onto the integration feature itself. Why integrate BGL CAS 360 and Registry Direct? Well, we know that BGL is already a pretty comprehensive ecosystem, but we realised that a registry direct integration could provide value in some key areas for particular customers, and that is unlisted public companies. So while CAS 360 meets the needs of proprietary companies for ASIC reporting and ID verification requirements, for public companies, there are some legal obligations that are not covered. And these are shareholder meetings, quarterly tax file number reports, annual investment income reports, and calculating and paying withholding tax on dividends. And I'll go into each of these in more detail. So for the first requirement, shareholder meetings. Public companies must hold an annual meeting of shareholders, allowing shareholders to ask questions and vote on resolutions. So there is a lot of organising that goes into holding a well-run shareholders meeting, particularly if you're accommodating online attendance as well. And Registry Direct streamlines the process for you. We provide a simple wizard for setting up shareholder meetings, including dates, locations, meeting links, resolutions, voting directions and restrictions, and opening and closing the voting.
Sorry, Bethany, are you able to present your slides to us?
Oh, you're not seeing the slides? Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Are you seeing them now?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks
Okay,
so
cool.
much.
Sorry about that. Right, as I was saying, these are the additional legal requirements that we're going to be walking through. Shareholder meetings, quarterly tax file number reports, annual investment income reports, and calculating and paying withholding tax on dividends. Shareholder meetings, so we just quickly discuss those. As I was saying, there's a lot of organising that goes into holding a well-run shareholders meeting, particularly if you're accommodating online attendance as well. And we provide a wizard which allows you to set up shareholder meetings, including dates, locations, meeting links, resolutions, voting directions and restrictions, and opening and closing the voting. And we make all that information available to shareholders through invitations, online voting, and notice of meetings. And you can see on the screen here, which you can actually see now, the Investor Centre voting form, which they see in their Investor Centre. And our meeting feature also enables full flexibility between physical and/or online attendance. So this extends to sending out notices of meetings and invitations by email or post, as well as providing online proxy forms and voting for investors, as well as generating PDF forms for the less technically inclined. And just regarding the notice of meeting, the Corporations Act requires companies to follow investors' preferences for receiving notices of meetings, and Registry Direct captures those preferences from your investors so you can comply with the Act. And because shareholders can vote online, you can follow voting results live. So the second of these additional requirements is quarterly tax file number reports. Unlisted public companies must report to the ATO within 90 days any shareholders' TFNs or ABNs they receive. So instead of keeping track of which new TFNs and ABNs you've received manually, our system can generate a QTFN report quickly and easily in our report centre. And we also offer cross-issuer QTFN reports, meaning you can generate one single report for all your companies, which saves a lot of time. And the report is designed to be lodged directly with the ATO business portal, so you just need to generate it and lodge it. The next requirement is the Annual Investment Income Report, or AIIR. And this is another report for the ATO, and it details dividends and franking credits paid to each shareholder and any tax withheld, and it must be provided to the ATO by October 31st each year. So this is a fairly complicated report to compile and generate. The AIIR specifications are regularly updated by the ATO, and our system keeps up to date with the latest specs for you. So you can just create an AIIR report with the click of a button. And like the QTFN, it's quick and easy to produce and designed to be lodged directly with the ATO business portal. And the last of those requirements are calculating and paying withholding tax on dividends. So unlisted public companies are required to calculate resident and non-resident withholding tax on dividend and interest payments and pay it to the ATO. Withholding taxes are calculated according to varying rates for both withholding types and treaty countries, and we maintain both of those rates table on our platform. When you pay a dividend through our system, it automatically calculates the withholding tax on payments, saving a lot of time over doing it manually. You can access the total and individual withholding tax amounts for each dividend payment in a payment summary report, which you can see on the slide there. And we also produce payment statements for each investor, which includes their individual withholding tax amounts. So those are the compliance gaps you may be facing for your customers and how Registry Direct can help you fill them in. Now I'd like to mention some of the other useful registry management tools offered by Registry Direct. Firstly, we have an investor portal for shareholders. Shareholders can log in securely and get easy access to information about their investments. For instance, they can access historical communications, vote on resolutions, view their transaction history, download a holding statement, update their contact and bank account details, and view offer applications that they've submitted. So that can potentially save you a lot of manual administration in chasing up those things for your shareholders. There is also a read-only version of the investor portal, so shareholders can authorise their advisors to have access to their accounts and be copied in on communications. And we have a communication centre, which acts as a central management hub for investor communications to make shareholder engagement easier. And that has features like managing bounced emails, bulk sending custom attachments, and automatically producing letters to post for investors without an email address. And as mentioned, shareholders can access all their communications in the Investor Centre. And we've already touched on the dividend payments feature with withholding taxes, but our system also manages your payments at every stage. You can automatically calculate payment amounts based on a flexible and detailed payment setup. We can produce ABA files for bulk dividend payments. We can automatically create and send out payment statements. We can manage retained and failed payments. So the system will even send you a notification when a shareholder who is owed money updates their bank account details, so you can be alerted and cover off that task. Registry Direct also has tools to assist in raising capital, including a customizable online application form. And with our offers feature, it becomes simple to set up an offer, track payments, send invoices and receipts, and allot shares to successful applicants. And we've recently released a big upgrade, which adds a branded login page and allows applicants to save a draft of their application, which they can access through the Investor Centre or a secure login. And they can also apply as an advisor. Plus many more additional features, which are all detailed on our website. And if you are a Registry Direct user, the integration also gives you access to CAS 360's additional compliance features for companies, which are not covered by Registry Direct. And some of these are preparing board minutes, an automated annual review process and lodgement of ASIC forms, using e-signature technology for audit control, and accessing all the other great features offered by BGL within their ecosystem. So as you can see, combining Registry Direct with BGL creates a complete company management solution. And that leads to the ultimate benefit of this integration. Public companies are often your highest value customers with the greatest capacity to pay for advisory services. So integrating the BGL and Registry Direct platforms provides you the capability to offer customers all these additional compliance and company management services, and therefore develop a deeper and more valuable relationship with your best customers. So how does it actually work? I'll hand it over to Jeremy now, who's going to take you through a demonstration of the integration feature.
Thanks, Bethany. So I'll run through a bit of run through some of the details of this integration, what it does, the problem it solves, and I'll demo how it works. So firstly, I'll just share my screen. One sec. You'd be able to see my screen now. So firstly, I'll just give you an overview of what this integration is and why we've built it. So CAS 360 and Registry Direct share a very similar data structure. They have companies, securities, shareholders, and transactions, but both these platforms manage that data completely independently. So if you're using both, then you're having to update this data in both places. And when you're using features in one or the other, you'll be creating discrepancies between the two. And traditionally, without our integration, identifying these discrepancies can be time-consuming and quite error-prone. So what our integration aims to do is to provide visibility on these discrepancies and provide you an action list to work through to get them all aligned again. So now I will jump into a demo and show you how it all works. So I'm here in the Registry Direct platform in what we call the Client Center. And this is kind of like a top-level platform where you can manage multiple companies. So in here, we have an integrations menu, and I'm in here with the BGL one. If you can click connect your BGL account, it simply takes you over to BGL, where you're prompted to log in if you're not logged in, and then you can simply authorize Registry Direct to access your data. When you do that, you get taken back to Registry Direct and it's all connected. So basically, it's really simple to get it all connected and give Registry Direct the ability to access all the CAS 360 data. So I've just changed to another client now where I've have all this data previously set up for this demo. So if I click in here, this is the BGL management screen. I'll just jump quickly into CAS 360. You're probably familiar with that if you're already using this, but I have a demo CAS 360 set up here with 4 companies. You'll see that these same 4 companies have been pulled into Registry Direct. And this is where you can manage them. So from here, you have 2 options. If you're already an existing Registry Direct customer, you can simply match up the CAS 360 company with your Registry Direct one, and that will kick off the reconciliation process. Or if you are using CAS 360 and you don't use Registry Direct yet, we have an import process, which is by far the quickest and easiest, most robust way to import data into Registry Direct. And at the click of a button, you can simply import the company, the securities, the shareholders, and all the transactions, and have that all fully matched up, ready to go in Registry Direct. So that's a really great time-saving way to get onboarded at Registry Direct. So once you've done that, the next part of the process is to actually view the reconciliation. So I'll jump into this particular one that I've already set up. And this has taken me over to what we call the Issuer Center. And this is a portal specifically for a single company, in this case, Demo Import Company. And this is where all the great Registry Direct features live. But for now, I'll just show you the reconciliation with BGL feature. So you can see here we have a number of reconciliation settings. And this just allows you to tailor the type of records you want to reconcile between the two systems. And you might modify this depending on what your use cases are, but there's the flexibility there to choose what you want to reconcile or not reconcile. The other feature here is email notifications. So each day we will pull in the BGL data in a background job where this will update all the information on the Registry Direct side. So when we do that, this will uncover either unmatched records, or it will uncover variances in various records. And then we send an email out to these people saying, you have unmatched holders, or these transactions have a variance, but it will list all the action points you need to take a look at, and with links back to this page so you can quickly get back here. So the main kind of functionality of this feature are these three tabs. So this is where we can look at the security classes, holders, and transactions. Each of these tabs will list the CAS 360 data on the left and the Registry Direct data on the right. And we'll have this filter. So by default, both of these are checked. So we'll only show you the records that require attention, and everything else is conveniently hidden away as it requires no action at this point in time. So from here, you can see this is the security classes. We've already matched ordinary shares from CAS 360 to Registry Direct, and you can see that the total number of securities on both match. If these didn't, you'd have a little alert here to reflect that they don't match and some action is required. I'll just move on to the holders tab. So you can see here, similar to the other screen, that we have CAS 360 data on the left, Registry Direct data on the right, and we have these same filters. So I'll start with unmatched. So unmatched means that it exists in CAS 360 and we've pulled that information in, and it hasn't been matched to anything on the Registry Direct side yet. We can see that we have two here that are unmatched. To simply match them, you just choose the relevant holder here, and that syncs them up, and that will notify you of any variances that occur between these, and it will also allow you to reconcile that particular investor's holdings and transactions. So the other thing here is variances. So once you've matched up a shareholder, you might end up with variances for any number of reasons, but for instance here, it's alerting us to the fact that this address is different between the two. And this one is alerting us that the date of birth is different between the two. So these just alert you to things that you need to action. You need to figure out, why this is the case and update it accordingly on the correct system. The last tab is pretty similar to the others. It's just dealing with transactions. So we have a shareholder in CAS 360, shareholder in Registry Direct. It lists all their different holdings. We've only got one here, but if they had multiple, it would list them all down here. It shows you their balance in all of those. And again, it would have a little alert here if they were not the same in both systems, to alert you to the fact that something needs to be actioned. You can then drill into all the individual transactions if that's what you've chosen to also reconcile. And again, just like the holders, you can match these up, and then any discrepancies between them will be alerted with a little orange flag. So that's basically how the integration works. The last thing to note is we do update the data daily, but if you are making some modifications in either of the systems, you can click refresh and that will update it instantly, or it'll take a little bit of time depending on the size of your data, but somewhat instantly. And yeah, so basically in summary, this integration aims to provide visibility of the discrepancies between the two systems. So you can then use them side by side and get the most out of both Registry Direct and CAS 360. Thanks for listening. Hopefully that demo was informative and shed some light on how it all works. I will kick it back over to Lily to finish up. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Jeremy. And also thank you, Bethany.